All right, we are live with the first MultiTapped podcast.
Woo.
Joining me tonight are a few of the MultiTapped goons. Since this is our first podcast, we'll probably go ahead and introduce everyone. I guess, do you want to go first, Jimmy?
Sure, I guess, since you put me on the spot, but yeah, Jimmy Hoppa, Import Gaming for the win. Hi, everybody.
Cool.
That's all I gotta say.
I guess then next is Joshua Tiberius.
What's up, everybody? Joshua Tiberius. I host Test Your Might, dedicated to the most difficult video games of all time, and we're going to discuss E3.
Nice.
Coming live from 1997 with that video, but
Right.
Next is
Great 1999 tech. You ain't got that.
so edgy.
Oh, is everybody still here? It looks like some faces are roboting out there a little bit.
Oh, no, we can't have that.
Okay, there we go.
Okay, up next is Nico.
Yes, that's me. Hello. I'm Nico of the We Guy 39 channel, known for 8-Bit Stereo, and Play the Game on my other Gaming Going On channel. And we're here to discuss E3 predictions.
Yeah.
I'll be talking about Nintendo stuff mostly, because that's what I know. I'm professional, see?
Yeah, there you go. That's a pretty classy jacket, too, dude. I'm not gonna
Thank
lie
you.
about
I'm Jeff Keighley.
Oh, Jesus.
Buy a Doritos Locos Taco.
it. Oh my God! You got the taco. Fantastic.
Mountain
10 out of 10.
Dew. I'm sorry.
And there goes our viewers.
Yep, there they go. And then up next is Jay from Viridian Flashback.
Let it
Hello,
be-
everyone. My name is Jay, also known as the Dolly Popka, and I host Viridian Flashback, a review/collector's guide for the original Xbox, and I'm here to may or may not defend Microsoft at this year's E3. We'll see how that goes.
That's a tough battle, dude.
It is a tough battle, but
And then next we have Donovan.
Hey guys, One Eye here. You might recognize me from No Clip Gaming. You might also recognize me from Team Pals and Heroes of the Storm. I'm a MOBA enthusiast and more or less an encyclopedia on the subject. I also dabble in video games of other varieties too.
Surprisingly.
Yeah, every now and again I've been known to touch a controller. It is rare, but it happens.
Nice. And so we're here today to be talking about E3 predictions. E3 starts tomorrow with the Microsoft press conference, I think at 9 in the morning in Los Angeles. This year is probably going to be a lot more mellow than last year, considering last year we had all
The bloodbath? Dude, it was the end of the world last year. Last year's E3 was just a fist fight between Sony and Microsoft.
Yeah, basically. So hopefully we'll actually see some games for these new systems and actually have a reason to consider buying one, maybe. Do you guys have any games that you want to see at E3 coming up?
Well, I'm willing to go ahead and get started there. I especially because of the harsh words that were exchanged between me and my friends last year at E3, I tried to stay out of the information loop as much as possible this year. But the one thing that I really need to see something said about is Sony needs to make a statement about The Last Guardian. And I'm sure I am not
Yes.
the only person in here who
Yes.
is in that boat.
no, we
But
need some Last Guardian info.
I mean, it's been too long.
Most
Like,
definitely.
IGN touched on about it last year at Tokyo Game Show. Like, they had playable demos in 09. And unlike other projects that Sony cancels, because it does happen, projects do get canceled. It's just nothing. They're just like, yeah, it's getting made, maybe. And
Well,
I don't know, man.
It's been in the works since, 2006 or 7, something like that?
2007.
Yeah.
2007. Actually, there's a spot up tonight saying that The Last Guardian is most certainly still in development. It's not canceled, as some rumors have been let out to believe. So.
Yeah, those rumors were fed to IGN Russia. They said one of their Sony insiders said that at one of the international board meetings, they discussed the fact that it had been canceled. And then, yeah, they sent out that tweet saying, no, it's not canceled, it's still on, but they've been really they're not talking about it, and it's a very anticipated game from a studio that's made 2 games in total so far, both absolutely breathtaking, and just, I mean, everybody wants it so bad.
Yeah.
You know, I
Maybe-
actually have not played Shadow of the Colossus ever.
Oh my god.
I attempted to. Couldn't
No,
get
you're
into
missing
it.
out.
Just couldn't get the controls down. Can't beat the first guy.
What is this thing
Oh
called?
my god, Nico, you might want to leave the room after saying that.
That's a little rough. The tutorial, man, it was just too hard.
That was rough. Too many buttons, more than an NES controller. But I don't want to be a Debbie Downer here, but I don't know. I feel like The Last Guardian is like just way too little, too late. I mean, of course I'm looking forward to it, and this is why I bought a PS3 back in the day, and of course I should have known they were never going to release it on that. But it's kind of a niche title, especially with today's popular games. Oh, stopped. But with the popular games today, right, and the audience that, you know, Sony and Microsoft and all these companies are going for, like the kind of people who would buy a PS4 for Last Guardian, I think is that amount is very low.
Do you think it would be PS4, or do you think it would be PS3? Or
I think it would. I think they would want to do
PS4 at this
PS4 because, I mean, even though Sony and Microsoft are still supporting their systems, the third-party developers and publishers, they know most people still have their 360 and their PS3. I think for Sony, like they want people to, they need exclusives. That's what they need because they're an underpowered PC basically with only their first-party studios to kind of appeal. I think at this point. So
yeah,
I think it's
like
kind of neat.
Persona 5 might be the death rattle of that generation.
Persona 5.
That could seem fair. I could also see it being one of those things where they release it on both. I mean, because I agree, it's not something that's going to move units. Nobody.
Look
there
at
are people who are going to buy a PS4 to buy The Last Guardian. That's maybe a handful of sales there. But I feel like it's a title that if they released would still get a lot of sales. It's just not. It's not.
Well, I think
It doesn't have the
Japan, too,
momentum
people would.
that they would.
Well, yeah,
want.
look at Last of Us. You know, that just came out last year on the PS3, and already we're getting
About a year ago,
the PS4 edition.
Oh, everything's
Yeah.
getting a definitive edition thanks to like Tomb Raider and everybody trying to make more money off the same game. But I think for Sony, like if they want to get like a big audience of people, I don't know if God of War still has the kind of power it had, but like a Last of Us 2 or like an Uncharted 4, and I think that would get people really interested. But
There is a new Uncharted.
Yeah, we do
Okay.
have that. So.
Yeah,
I didn't
that's
even know
what the
about
trailer
that,
showed,
so.
but yeah, I'm gonna assume.
but
that
it needs to
they're
be
probably gonna
coming
show
out
some more
soon.
footage
It's
of
gonna
that.
come out this year.
Well, they've been having a whole bunch of issues lately with. They ended up firing off their creative director, and there's been a lot of turmoil within Naughty Dog internally lately. So I would say just because of that, I'd expect to see some footage at this year's E3, but I don't think we'll actually see an Uncharted 4 until probably 2015.
Right. Well, if Last of Us, or not Last of Us, but Last Guardian is announced, like, yep, we've been so quiet because hey, in 3 months it's gonna be out on PS4. I think that would breathe a lot of like life into the PS4 at the moment, but that's not gonna happen, and they need something I think soon. Because the hype, yeah.
Well, I mean, honestly, even if they just said no,
That's case scenario there.
it's over. Like I would be okay with that. I would be okay with knowing it's not coming. It's just weird that it's in this like developer limbo. It feels like I'm getting Duke Nukemed
Yeah, it's like a Duke Nukem
by
Forever.
fucking Team Ico. Like you would expect it to be classy. You'd expect them to buy you dinner first. You know, like come on.
They're basically doing they were like those guys on YouTube who they made a lot of really good videos at first, and oh yeah, everybody likes them, and now like once a year they release a good video, and you're like, oh, that's Team Eco right there. Like, yeah, we can just take our time with it because people are still gonna pay attention. We're still relevant.
I guess that's fair. I mean, they re-released Shadow of the Colossus on the PlayStation.
Oh,
Network,
yeah.
and it fucking sold hotcakes. People want to.
Yeah, I have. Yeah, I say I have the HD collection, and that's part of the reason why I rebought a PS3 because I was like, I want to replay that.
Yeah, I mean, both games are really good. I mean, Ico, especially for what it is. The first time I played it, I was a little confused, but the second time I actually sat down and sank my teeth into it, like, I mean, honestly, I think you could make the argument it's a better adventure game than Zelda, at least some of the titles in the series. But just Shadow of the Colossus alone, I have one of those huge vertical posters of I want to say it's Colossus number 6, the big vertical one. You have to climb his sword. He's on top
Okay.
of like the like platform
Yeah,
over the lake.
another one.
And it's just every single day I just look at that thing and I think of that game because it's so good. Just like that feeling of just climbing up the Colossus and getting shook around and just.
Well, since you're having an orgasm here about Shadow of the Colossus, would you buy a PS4 if they said, okay, Last Guardian's coming out for PS4 in
If they
1
told
or
me
8 years from now?
Last Guardian was a PS4 exclusive, they honestly might get a sale out of me. It's tough. I really don't
Right.
buy into the whole exclusive things when it comes to consoles. If I did, I would already have an Xbox One for Sunset Overdrive. Because like I love Insomniac. I won't even touch that. Ratchet and Clank's like one of my favorite series just ever made. But I don't buy into the whole exclusive things. If you wait long enough, you'll see them hit Steam. It's like a matter of time.
I mean, it's basically it's first parties, yeah.
Yeah, you know what I mean?
Dead Rising 3 announced for PC, right? So
Yeah, leaked or whatever it was.
What I'd like to
fantastic.
see is GTA 5 announced for the PC at E3. I think
It's
that'd be
been-
awesome.
It's been leaked so many times, I wouldn't be too surprised to see it happen. You know what I mean? Like, so many stores have been like, yeah, you can pre-order the PC. Oh, that's not out yet? No, console version.
It seemed inevitable that it would come to PC. I mean, that's where GTA really got its start. So
When I started playing GTA 5 just for a few hours, the one thing that really struck me the most is I was like, this game would have really helped if it had better anti-aliasing, which the PC version hopefully will do.
Oh, it'll look better on PC. Even though I'm not a PC guy at all. None of this PC Master Race crap, Donovan. But it'll look nicer. Even if they kept like the same kind of models and all that, just putting on a PC, it's just gonna look better. Unless they fuck up the port big time, like they send it to a Korean company or something, and they just half-ass it. That's like 10 years ago. Korean companies are pretty good at porting now.
They do a Dark Souls 1 PC port.
Oh, I heard
like
that.
Grand
was
Theft
wrong.
Auto 5. It's just
Yeah.
like you turn it on and your computer just bursts into flames. Like, okay, this isn't
Hardest
working.
game ever.
Yeah, like hardest game ever. Loading screen boss OP. Like,
But yeah.
So, is anyone here excited to see Mighty Number 9 footage, hopefully, or other Kickstarter?
yes.
Oh, yeah.
I've seen a little bit of it. It kind of looks goofy, but to me anyway.
It has kind of an odd look, like I was kind of expecting it to be like just like animated like cells, like sprite based almost, instead of it being in like full 3D. But the full 3D, I thought it looked smooth, but it just kind of caught me off guard a little bit. And in the
Yeah.
past, a lot of Mega Man games that have tried to make the switch to 3D, like the Mega Man X version on the PSP and like that kind of stuff, it just kind of feels a little wonky.
Yeah, it kind of looks a little wonky. I mean, if it plays fine, that's great. It just to me, it's kind of distracting. But here's what it kind of reminded me of seeing the footage. This is probably like a couple weeks ago or a week ago. But you remember that crappy Rocket Knight Adventures HD remake?
Oh, yeah.
yeah, I
ago.
have that as a matter of fact.
Yeah, it kind of reminds me of that, and I did not like
Yeah, I
that.
remember that game.
I didn't think that remake was that bad. I think
No,
I
it's not.
played
It's
some-
not that bad, but it's just like, why would you want to play this when you can go back and
It-
play
Yeah,
Rocket Knight
it's-
Adventures for Genesis?
It's a
not
pretty.
sparse,
It's
that game
not the
sucks.
hardest game to get a hold of either. So.
But I just got vibes of that. Like it's gonna feel cheap.
It's not-
It's like playing Mega Man, but feel cheap, like those PSP games. But I don't know. I'm gonna be positive about it.
Hopefully, it feels good with the amount of money they got from that Kickstarter.
Yeah. Insert Anita Sarkeesian Kickstarter comment here. I'll get him to stop with that. Yeah. Solar freaking roadways. Oh. Okay.
So what
Good job.
else are you guys looking forward to? Any other games that come to mind? Or things you'd like to see?
Retro
5!
No.
Not you, silly goose.
No, you guys, yeah, Nico and Jen J Pop could have been kind of quiet.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, well,
I'm waiting for the Nintendo section.
Well, let's do it now.
Yeah, go ahead.
Oh,
Stick your
yeah,
teeth
Nico,
into it,
since
Nico.
you're
yeah,
like-
go for it.
Nintendo.
I think I would I'd almost be willing to bet money that Nintendo's going to show a new Zelda this year.
They have
Yeah,
to.
that's a pretty
Have
safe
to,
bet.
Yeah.
I think that seems like a very safe bet, especially since was it a TGS last year where they had the interactive demo, the like video demo It was
Is
like
that
just
that
footage.
church kind of?
Yeah, like the footage of like the gameplay, and they're like, you'll be able to do this with the with the Wii U and switch the cameras. So like, I'd expect to see like maybe even a playable tech demo. Like, I wouldn't be that surprised, but they should do something for it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it'd be cool if they had something playable on the floor. That'd be awesome. Although I wouldn't be surprised if all we get is a video.
Yeah. Tease.
Yeah, I remember a few years ago when Nintendo started working on games for the Wii U. And I don't know if it was true or not, but they're like, man, yeah, making games in HD takes a lot of work. It's taking a way longer time than we thought it would. So who knows if they're going to even have any sort of playable form of anything other than Smash Brothers and.
I'm sure there'll be a playable Smash Brothers. Yeah, especially the 3DS one comes out in like a few months, doesn't it?
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
supposed to.
Brilliant
Oh, yeah.
tactic to increase their sales, yeah.
Now, there's one thing I actually went ahead and took a look at a few of those like leaked documents for what's supposed to be coming out for the E3 announcements this year, and the one that caught my eye the most for Nintendo was Castlevania Symphony of the Night 2.
Wait, from Nintendo?
Yeah,
That's for
yeah.
3DS, yeah.
There's-
Well, that's the rumor anyway.
Ooh, that'd be really interesting.
Yeah, that might be
Sneak a
the thing that
drunk.
would get me to buy a 3DS, I think.
Vodka in it?
Wait, you mean you don't have enough reasons to buy a 3DS?
Yeah,
Well-
I mean, honestly, dude, to be hashtag real talk, dude. The 3DS library is sick, and if you don't have a 3DS, you should probably have one.
It's pretty good. I mean, I bought the Vita, and I'm really trying to just stick to only having the Vita. But
Don't get me wrong, dude. I love my Vita with all of those games that I enjoy.
Hashtag real
PlayStation
talk
Vita,
again,
great
fellas.
game to choose from.
the Persona
Yeah.
4 system.
Yeah, the Persona 4 Portable. That's all it is. Like,
Yeah. You know, like, bringing up the 3DS, though, when that first got released, it was a disaster. Nobody bought it. I remember I was living in Japan at the time, too, and I was shocked because they had all these, like, 3DS, come day one and all this stuff, and usually Nintendo stuff would get eaten up, like, day one. You wouldn't be able to find any hardware and, like, popular software at all, but I went to one of the electronics stores day one, and they had all these 3DSs, and you're just like, nobody bought it. But they bounced back, and I'm hoping they can do the same thing with the Wii U, because they fucked up and they released the 3DS really early with no real good games.
Yeah,
I just
yeah.
for the Wii U, like 3DS, yeah, the 3DS kicks ass. And I'm not a big portable gamer, but I've had so much fun doing Street Pass, which is such a fun, interesting kind of take on like portable gaming and like social networking and all that kind of stuff. It's such a good system, and that's really where Nintendo's getting their money right at the moment. They got a lot of money in the bank, but you know, every year if they keep losing how many hundreds of millions, who knows how long.
it's keeping
They
them
would stay
from
afloat.
completely hemorrhaging money.
Right. So I'm thinking like they should have some sort of like Wii U 3DS, but more connectivity, because Monster Hunter 3 was an interesting idea where you could take your character on the move and all that stuff. But you know, you have a touchscreen on the 3DS. There's a lot of interesting things you could probably do with the 3DS and the Wii U to make it, people who have a 3DS want to get a Wii U. You could do Pokemon stuff. Like, I remember Pokemon Stadium was such a half-ass idea for the N64, but people they bought that game because they wanted to do 3D battles or whatever with their
To
Game
be
Boy,
fair,
right?
I don't know if you
So-
I don't know if you played X and Y. It's pretty much Pokemon Stadium with a story attached. Like,
Yeah,
That sounds
I haven't
good
played
thing.
Pokemon since Red for Game Boy, so
Yeah. Oh, we're getting Ruby and Sapphire remakes too. So
well, I mean, Heart Gold and Soul Silver were fantastic, so
I'm pretty
I'm
sure-
not bitching about it.
I'm sure third gen will be great.
I would be pissed about the logic because it's fucking Madden logic, but if the remakes weren't so good and like put so many fresh like modern concepts into them and help the gameplay so much, I love them. I don't really mind. I actually, with the exception of Fairy type, which I will not touch, I am actually a huge fan of the direction Nintendo's taken the Pokemon games recently. At least so far as gameplay
Oh,
wise.
Josh is gone. No, I'm not gonna lie. I kind of want to jump back into Pokemon just because it looks pretty fun.
Like the
I
games
tried.
are crazy now, dude. Like the amount of stuff that happens in X and
I
Y.
just don't like that they look like robots.
I actually
tried, though.
dropped out of Black and White, and the or what is it? Pearl and Diamond were pretty good.
Yeah, Platinum is amazing. Out of the
Platinum-
Pearl and Diamond generation, Platinum is literally one of my favorite Pokemon. Like the whole running up waterfalls and upside down and shit. Just oh man.
Sounds
Yeah,
pretty
like-
good.
See, you guys are being like Pokemon nerds right now, but if Nintendo had like a Pokemon game on like the Wii U, people would buy that up.
Oh,
Absolutely.
Yeah,
I
they
bought
want it.
Pokemon Rumble on my Wii.
Actually, I think it might even be time for them to bring out Pokemon Snap too with that Wii U controller. That'd be pretty cool.
That would be
possibly.
sick. That would be so good. Just sitting there, just like, good job, I got it. I'm gonna get you, Pikachu.
Oh my god. No, it would be perfect.
You
man.
like how I actually had the Wii U controller on my desk? Just like,
Had it.
Ready to go. I just had it ready to go.
all of my free time
Like
goes to Monster
Nintendo.
Hunter 3. That's all it is.
Don't
I
screw me
probably
over.
would really like that because I tried to get into the new ones with Y. I just it didn't hold my attention, and I had to sell it because I was like, oh, I thought I would get back into it. No, I didn't.
That's ADD though. That's ADD's problem, Nico.
Yeah, dude, they had so many things to hook me. They're like, you like shit like berry farming, you're into that, yeah? Harvest Moon, and it's like, oh my god. Animal Crossing mechanics? Ah, sign me up, Nintendo. Like,
It's so weird.
Yeah.
Like
Well,
they did
that's
this
another
game.
game too. Animal Crossing. Jeez.
Oh, so good.
yeah.
Oh,
New
Leaf
Animal
was
Crossing.
great.
There you
New
go.
Leaf was great.
Wii U.
Man.
You know what I'm surprised is like with the 3DS and the Wii U, like now they have Nintendo Network, and I know you can do like Miiverse on the 3DS. That was something they added a few months ago. But just straight up, instead of friend codes and all that, just make it all Nintendo Network ID. And I don't know, that would probably help out with like connectivity with the 3DS
Yeah,
and the Wii U,
everything
but-
Nintendo does with multiplayer online is so convoluted and just ass backwards.
Yeah, I mean, Miiverse is pretty cool. I think Nintendo was banking a lot that this is going to revolutionize gaming, but only if you have a Wii U and like 5 people have a Wii U. So,
Yeah.
so us,
3 of
yeah.
them in this call. Like,
Yep. So we just need to steal the other 2 guys' Wii U's and give it to the Jays.
yeah, like we are more or less floating Nintendo's bankroll right now.
Yep.
Right
Rolling.
to us. Seriously though,
it's-
like the Nintendo software library the past couple of years has just been so good. It really has.
No, Nintendo, they make great games, and at least they have third-party support for the 3DS. But I don't know, like I'd love to see something from Metroid on any system. You would think like when Game Boy
Oh,
Advance came
yeah.
out, they released like 2 Metroid games, and they had
Super
connectivity,
Metroid
right?
2.
Yeah. Remember when Prime came out? You could hook up your GBA and get the original Metroid on Metroid
Oh yeah,
Prime.
yeah.
Like stuff like that made me get the stupid connectivity link for GameCube. You know? So like just if they had incentives like that, like little bonuses, not DLC, none of this crap, but like, hey, we appreciate the fans who've stuck with us through all of our good times and our bad times. You know, just I don't know. Because Nintendo has a reputation for being a good company, but I think they screw over their fans more than anybody else. So
Yeah, the makers of Earthbound.
Yeah.
yeah. Who screws you over more, Nintendo or the people who sell Earthbound cards for like $400?
Luckily, I got my Earthbound card for 60. So
That's crazy. I remember when I was in this is kind of going off tangent, but when I was in I don't know 6th grade and Earthbound was just like 1996. Nobody bought that game, so they just had stacks of that in like
dude, it was in
other
bargain
game
bins for a
stores.
few years.
Right? Yeah. The people were just trying to get rid of it because it took up a lot of space because they had the guide or whatever.
Yeah.
And I had friends who had it, and they threw away the guide in the box. They just had the carts. I guess that's why they have so many carts just floating around. But
I complete box. You're looking at like $800 to $1,000 nowadays for an Earthbound card.
Jesus Christ. But yeah, like, you know, people like they love Smash Brothers, and I think a lot of the reason with that is just because it's nostalgic. Like you can't see it here, but I don't even like Smash Brothers, but I have a Smash Brothers poster in the background because I like Nintendo stuff. So if they would kind of give their fans what they want a little bit more, there's enough twogs, tired white old guys like Jay Popka to buy their shit.
Well, honestly, my
he's
big
right,
thing with Smash Brothers is they need to do what Sony did with PlayStation All Stars. Because whether or not you think PlayStation All Stars is a good game, which if you want to argue about, man,
got
1v1 me,
Parappa,
bro,
it can't be that
1v1 me, bro, we can lift. But the point I'm trying to say is one of my greatest like Vita memories of just owning my Vita is sitting in my basement on my Vita waiting to load into a game of League, right? And playing PlayStation All-Stars with my roommates upstairs on the TV on their PS3. And there being like 0 lag, 0 frame rate issues. Like it was perfect. It was literally like I was sitting up there playing with them. and it was,
Yeah,
it was cross-platform. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
'Cause that's Vita to PS3. If Nintendo pulls that off with the 3DS and Wii U, it'll be worth the price of admission.
J-Popka, he was trying to say, J-Pop, you gotta be like,
No,
I
I
have
was
a voice,
saying-
goddammit.
No, I was saying I don't know. That story's cool and all, but why you're in your basement is kind of sketchy.
Oh well, I just
He's just perpetuating stereotypes about
I own my own house, so of course I'm going to take an entire floor to myself and
No,
rent it
good
upstairs to people.
Touche.
Yeah, dude, I've got my own bathroom.
Water the prisoners too, right? So
Yeah, exactly.
you can handheld gaming down there.
Someone's got to change the prisoner feed.
It puts
that's
the
the
I'm all
night,
hungry and
folks.
there's nothing to eat in this cage. We got poop, don't you? Like.
Well, that
Yeah, I
might
guess
be the
with-
E3 theme, poop. So, but it should be all about gaming this year because there's no stupid hardware really
last year.
to goof around with. There's no motion control crap. Hopefully, that's gone.
Speaking of hardware, there is one hardware announcement I really want though, and that's the Vita TV in the U.S.
Oh right. I was gonna say Dreamcast too. Oh, me too. Yeah. But yeah, Vita TV US. I mean, that came out end of last year in Japan, I think.
Yeah, I'd say it's been on the market over there probably for about 7 months at least now.
Right. And they're kind of like, well, I don't know, because they released a lot of things for PSP in Japan, like it was Japan only. I don't know why they would keep like that Japan only, because a lot of the stuff that was PSP only was like navigation stuff for your PSP and weird crap like that. But yeah, I would hope that would entice me to buy a Vita because I've always wanted one. But I just, since I do crappy YouTube videos, I'd want to use the footage for something.
Exactly. Yeah,
And,
if it could upconvert the resolution too. I don't know. I don't think the current one does, but man, that'd be sweet if it could.
Oh, speaking of like just handheld stuff, yeah, Symphony of the Night 2 would be awesome. I'm not a big Iga fan, but I have all of his Game Boy Advance and DS games. But I just hope that if they do Symphony of the Night 2, they do it like Metroidvania style. Like, I haven't played the Lords of Shadow 3DS game, but apparently it's kind of crappy, and it looked bad.
Those
I'll give it a
look
try.
Those newer Lords of Shadow ones,
Yeah.
I've just never. It just looks like
Yeah, I couldn't. Yeah,
God of Castlevania.
God of
Well,
Castlevania.
that's
right?
what sells now, dog. What do you
Dog.
expect?
People just want quick fixes. But no, if they made it like a proper like RPG-ish kind of element Castlevania, I don't care who develops it, it'll be fun. Because I know there are like a few like DS, Castlevania, Metroidvania type clone games too, and they're not as polished as like Aria of Sorrow, those kind of games, but they're still fun. And I don't know, I would love to have a game like that. We talked a little bit before about like Shadow Complex. Even that game is kind of it's a badass game, but it's no Castlevania Symphony of the Night. But if they made it like that, I'd be really satisfied. It'd just be fun. But speaking of 3DS, like Theater Rhythm, Curtain Call, is what I'm looking forward to.
Did someone say Rhythm Heaven? Oh wait.
Theater Rhythm.
Yeah.
That's what got me back into like gaming. So the first game, it's just a Final Fantasy rhythm game, and I just hope it's not like basically an expansion pack on the original, because that would be really disappointing. But
Those wily rascals at Square, man. You don't know.
oh god, it'll be all Final Fantasy 13 characters now. Like, oh what? Final Fantasy 1 music, but you can only play as Lightning.
Yeah.
Great.
If to be square,
I hope you like vanilla, because that's all you're getting.
Yeah.
no, just give me Rhythm Heaven,
Uh,
please. I want one.
God,
the
Rhythm
music
Heaven
from Final
Fever for
Fantasy
Wii,
12.
Nico.
I know, but new one.
But you know, it can't be like it won't take a long time to make a game like that. But you could do a lot of cool mini games type stuff with the Wii U control pad. You know, like the touch screen. It'd be super fun. Like I saw that stupid. Like I hate party games, but Wii Party U.
Oh, dude, I
I
actually
have fun games on that.
I actually want to get that and have fun with my peeps, the actual friends I do have.
Your mom and your sister.
Family game night? Is that what you're talking about, Nico?
Family game night. Yeah.
It's the game.
Nazi again. Damn it.
Yachts.
Damn it, I'm the one with the business suit here.
There's Jeff Keighley in it. He's like Keighley, call me. Hook me up with Jade Raymond.
No. If there was a new Rhythm Heaven, it'd be best on the 3DS to reach more people.
Oh, it would.
truthfully.
about like connectivity? Like, they had like a 3DS
Yes.
and a Wii U
Yes,
version.
Nintendo, do the connectivity,
Yeah.
please.
But I don't know. We've been talking about Nintendo a lot, Jay. Dubious. Are you okay with this? Because I know you're our dungeon master here.
We'll go wherever the conversation
DM.
And they even
Conversational
at
podcast.
E3, they got no conference. They got direct.
Are we doing okay, Coach? We doing all right?
Should we get the Microsoft section over with?
I was thinking maybe Jay Popka's been quiet.
Yeah,
so
let's talk about
Yeah,
what
he's
Microsoft's
below
gonna
his
do.
Microsoft load.
Hopefully, Microsoft has a lot to prove this year.
Yeah, well, I really hope that that they've got the TV thing out of their system. We get it. It connects to the TV. You can watch TV while playing whatever game for some freaking reason.
and
I hope
sports.
that's done.
Sports.
And the sports. Yeah, I hope that's done.
Only for Americans. Yeah.
Yeah, let's talk about the games. No, I'm really more excited about games more than any hardware. Like, I hope that they get the Halo and all that stuff out of the way. Like, okay, you know there's a new Halo coming.
Why is he wearing a
there's-
poncho?
Gears of War.
Poncho.
You know, we're gonna release Halo 5. We're gonna release the Halo 1 through 4 collection, whatever. There's supposedly
remastered Combat Evolved.
yeah, whatever. It's the same damn game, but
I'm
supposedly
actually interested in Advanced Warfare. I'm looking forward to the new Call of Duty because it's developed by Sledgehammer, who I thought made the best one so far. So I'm pretty stoked to see some footage of that hopefully tomorrow.
Okay.
I'm probably the only one.
It's true.
Minus 2 subscribers now.
They're
supposedly,
gamers.
supposedly we're gonna have Gears of War 4 possibly announced. I really don't see why. I think it ended on a good note.
I think the cover-based shooter genre
Money.
is just kind of over. You know what I mean? Like I just don't see cover-based shooters really being big with the next gen that's coming up. And
Well, if they did like Vanquish 2, that would be awesome. But that's never
Oh yeah,
happening.
definitely.
Nobody played Vanquish.
Me being a big Metal Gear fan, I really hope that whatever trailer Kojima has cooked up for Phantom Pain actually gives us something. Because you know how Kojima is. He likes to be very theatrical and mysterious, and did you like it?
Yeah. Would you like
So-
him to give you the entire 15 minutes of the actual gameplay in the finished game, or the 3.5 hours of talking scenes? Just straight up on the floor. Is that what you want, or just fucking with you? But yeah.
Yeah, no. You're talking about Ground Zeroes, aren't you?
I'm talking about Metal Gear Solid in general, but anyways, Metal Gear series. But hey, J Popka, do you think the Halo series has the kind of weight it used to? Like, I think for me personally, like, Halo 3 was the last really big Halo game that we sold tons and people were excited about, and that kind of ended Halo, kind of.
Yeah, like.
But do you think that it still bring people in?
I don't know. Like the problem, like Halo 3, it ended on such a great note, and then I think Microsoft just kind of like, we didn't want it to end, guys. And Bungie's like, I don't care, we're out. And so they're like, well, what do we do? Like, yeah, they made Breach and everything, but that's more of a prequel. So, yeah, like I played Halo 4 and it was fun, but I don't know. It just didn't feel the same as like I was playing through the originals.
Like,
You know,
different dev team too, right?
Speaking of Bungie, is
Right.
anyone excited for Destiny? I have almost absolutely no interest in that.
I am, but
Not
just a little
interested,
bit.
buddy.
I need more
pretty
info.
interested in that game. Yeah, I'm still waiting on more than just a couple screenshots and a couple blurbs and articles. But yeah, I actually am very interested in that game.
I know. Yeah, I know a lot of money is being put into it. I read something like $500 million or something, some crazy figure like that. Somebody bought up that IP or that studio or that whatever. I'm thinking like
Facebook?
that's Facebook, right? Oculus Rift exclusive.
Oof.
And it got turned into a dating kind of thing. That's why it's called
Yeah.
Destiny. And
Oh,
you could
God.
see your friends list in 3D.
And it has a coordinating iPhone app.
Ah, that's right. And you can
Yeah,
just
I
have
don't-
birds redux on it.
I don't know if it's true or not. It's been kind of rumored, but we might see Resident Evil 7 at E3. And if that's
Nah.
the case,
Too soon.
That's good.
I'm curious only because where do you go from 6? Like 6 was such a
You make it actually good
Reboot.
Resident Evil game.
You have to
You turn it into
reboot
a
six.
what do you call, like a grid-based strategy RPG with zombies? That would be
Oh
fun.
god.
kart racing. We're done.
Kart
You know,
racing.
I
There you go.
actually, I
Resident
wonder
Evil
if we're going to
Tactic.
get that at E3. I'm sure none of you guys noticed this, but you can on Steam right now. You can buy into the alpha for Dead Island. Oh god.
Making Dead Island game?
Well, I want to say it's called Infestation or
Is it
something
an
like that.
MMO or something, or?
No, it's a fucking MOBA. I'm not even kidding you.
Seriously?
I'm not even gonna touch it. If you don't believe me, look on Steam right the fuck now. The next Dead Island game is a MOBA. I shit you not.
Donovan, didn't I tell you it's like everything changed their genre into FPS, and now even though you say it's real complicated, it's all MOBAs from now on. Resident Evil MOBA. Watch
Halo MOBA.
with microtransactions.
Final
And,
Fantasy MOBA.
It's funny because
FTP.
Donovan mentioned it earlier. I am interested in Sunset Overdrive as well.
Oh, that looks awesome. I watched Giant Bomb's quick look on that, and it looks so fun.
But
I don't know what that-
trying to think what else. I am interested in the new game from Remedy, the Max Payne Alan Wake people.
Right.
I want
that
to say
is,
it's called Quantum Break.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Yeah.
That's right.
Is it? It's Quantum something. But
Quantum,
I'm pretty sure it's
yeah.
Quantum Break.
Quantum Leap.
or,
Old franchise. HD.
but I mean the fact that it's going to be a game and a TV show, that part's kind of got me worried because not too long ago Defiance tried to do that and look what happened.
God, it was so bad too.
Is that what that whole Defiance show was about? That was tied with the game?
Oh, it was.
Yeah, like the
I don't watch
the
TV,
game was
but
like
I
a
just saw ads for it. Okay.
the show was okay, but the game was. If this tells you anything, it's going free to play already. Like,
Oh.
yeah, like, and I mean free to play is in you can just download the game free. You don't have to buy it. So
Yeah, just look at any review and you'll see why. That
Okay.
game won. So.
See, I knew Defiance was bad because I got duped. One of my friends for his birthday was like, "We should all pre-order it, and then when it launches on my birthday, we
God,
can
sounds so similar.
grind all night. It'll be so good, man." And so I'm like, "This game's gonna suck dick, you know that, right? Like, why am I paying money to play a shitty version of Planet Side 2? This makes no sense to me." And then the game launches, and I'm like, "Okay, so this isn't shitty Planet Side 2. This is shitty World of Warcraft." And then after grinding in a terrible game for about 3.5 hours, they're like, "Are you ready to get into your Jeep truck?" And I was like, "I'm ready to Alt F4." Closed and uninstalled. Like, it was just done. It was just done.
Oh, wow.
I wasted like
That's
3
not-
hours
that's
of my
not very
life.
open-minded, Donovan.
Dude, I wasted 3 hours of my life to play a fucking advertisement. Like, it was infomercial the game with shitty storyline and mechanics. Like, I was so done with it.
yeah, I know. I mean,
Forget it.
Speaking of which, this Google Plus Hangout brought to you by, was it Taco Bell and...
what? No, why
Mountain
would we
Dew?
ever do that? My Mountain Dew, Bob.
There you go.
Well, how blast that dude?
Blast. There you go.
The official beverage of MultiTapped.
No, we never do anything like that.
Tropical lime flavored soft drink.
Look at that.
Multi-soul outs.
Yeah. Nico had to like turn away to throw up all the Taco Bell he just put in his mouth because he's like one of those guys. I don't really eat this crap.
I do it for the money.
Yeah.
So I was going to mention with the Microsoft press conference, there's already one game they've already announced that everyone was expecting them to announce there, which is Forza Horizon 2. Which
Okay,
got,
I remember you were
announced
saying
about
you
a
might
week ago.
like to get an Xbox One because of that.
Yeah, well, at first I was really interested in the Xbox One for Forza 5, but $500 is quite a bit of cash just to play one racing game. But the original Forza Horizon is like absolutely one of the best.
Two racing games sold.
Yep. Well, and I mean, you got Sunset Overdrive. There's a lot of reasons to actually look at the Xbox One, and I
And
think,
they're selling one without a fucking eye that watches you all the time.
yeah, without the government.
Which
device.
for the record, a year ago, whenever that recording was, July 26th or whatever the fuck, I told you they were gonna do that, didn't I? I was like, dude, they're gonna release one without the fucking Kinect, and you're like,
Oh,
no, it's so integral to their core beliefs and blah 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 blah. They're never gonna do it, and I'm like, watch, they're gonna do it because nobody's gonna buy it.
Yeah, no one's gonna buy it.
Nobody
and-
bought it, and now they're fucking doing it. Breaking news: Microsoft hired me.
I still don't think anybody's gonna buy it. Like I'm worried about Microsoft. This is not good so far for them. So
But
Well,
think
it's
think
the
about it
third
this way
generation
though.
curse.
I think that all of the system, like, I mean, at least even ironically, like Wii U is doing so bad right now, but they have like an interesting kind of like angle to get people in. They have Nintendo games and they have, they have their little gamepad which nobody likes, but whatever. But like Microsoft and Sony, their biggest competition is PC, right? And last generation, when you think about Sony, had their huge fuck up with Ridge Racer and enemy crabs and all that crap. And they were in such bad shape, and people were like, Sony's out. But they bounced back. It might just take a while for Microsoft to bounce back, but I'm just afraid, like, for Sony and Microsoft, that unless they're pumping out really great first-party exclusives soon, people are just gonna leave, because they're already underpowered compared to, like, your gaming PC. And back then, when PS3 and Xbox 360 came out, Xbox 360 people thought was pretty underpowered, but PS3 had this unique architecture, right? And
Yeah,
had a lot of
so
power, untapped, but now it's basically just the same kind of architecture as like a PC, right? Except less power and it's not upgradable, so which is good because I don't want to upgrade consoles unless it's a Game Boy Advance player. That's pretty awesome. But I don't know, like there's nothing really giving in those consoles staying powers other than games, which we haven't seen any. That's why I was thinking I might buy a PS4 or an Xbox One if they have good games for it, but it's almost like a year later and there's nothing.
And everything's getting delayed nowadays.
Right.
Delayed.
So Watch Dogs delayed. Order 1886 delayed.
Batman.
Batman delayed. Drive Club was delayed.
Ironically, the most
At some point, guys, we can't have it both ways. Gamers always complain about stuff coming out and not finished. I mean, so having delays may not be bad things at the same time.
no, I just want games to
That's
be
my
simple again, where they don't have to make it into a like Resident Evil 6. Jesus Christ, you could have just did like Resident Evil remake again, and I would have been happy if it was like that. But they tried to make it into this stupid action movie, and it took forever and took a lot of money to make that crap, and nobody liked it.
Yeah.
Do you know
So-
what breaks my heart?
This port.
Breaks my heart about Resident Evil 6, and I hate it. It just hurts whenever anybody brings it up. Is like picture playing Resident Evil 6, right, and then drop the storyline out of it, and just like keep the gameplay. Like it could have been such a good game mechanically speaking. Like it felt so fresh and handled so well compared to like. I mean, it was the first time it felt good since Resident Evil 4, you know what I mean? And then they're like, well, we have this awesome gameplay, and just it's great. Let's just load it with QuickTime events and make them play it 4 times for no reason.
Yeah.
And then ship it. And it just breaks my heart every single time I think about it, because that game...
Shit.
Like, think about the start of that game. Think about the first half an hour of you playing that game in the city and, like, going through
Oh,
the
with
school and
Leon,
all
because
that
everybody was
shit.
like, I'm playing as
And I
Leon.
hate Leon. Leon's my least favorite Resident Evil character. And, like, that was so much fun. It was so good. I was so excited for the game. I was like, this is going to be amazing. And then it was just quick time events.
And then you were in like underground crypts and an endless supply of like zombies that weren't zombies but like mummy-looking things.
And that
started
stupid-ass fight,
appearing from behind, right?
that stupid fight with the El Gigantes that they make you play 4 times in the city,
Oh.
that same stupid fucking boss fight. Like, there was so much potential, and they just
Right.
pissed
So
it
that's-
away.
Well, to bring up Resident Evil 7 again, like, and that's a thing I think would help out if they just stop trying to make games into the biggest, baddest, most awesome things ever, because it's just they're not going to meet deadlines. Everyone's going to complain. It's going to get patched a billion times, and it's going to be so unfocused that no one's going to like it. So if they made Resident Evil simple again, I think it wouldn't take as much time to develop. I don't care about graphics. Personally, I don't give a shit about like how realistic graphics are, as long as they are attractive. Like,
I agree.
serviceable.
Being looking good versus being realistic are 2 entirely different things.
Right.
Oh.
I'm excited
I'd much
about
rather have an
Costume
overly
Quest 2.
stylized game than a...
Yeah.
Yes.
Sure.
That's gonna be a simple looking game, simple gameplay. I don't know.
You have good story. It's gonna.
I love Double Fine. I
Funny.
really do, man. I did the Amnesia Fortnite and everything. Super excited for Hack and Slash 2. I don't know if you guys know anything about that either.
Oh,
But
is that the game where you can like break the game within the game by changing
yeah,
its own mechanics?
it's more or less a Zelda clone, but the big thing is you can hack the game, like while you're playing it. Like hack and slash looks so good.
That seems extremely interesting. Yeah, like the things that you can just break the game really if you want to.
And like from the Amnesia Fortnite this year, one of the things that got prototyped and hopefully they're going to be making into an actual game is Pendleton Ward's Little Pink Best Buds. I don't know if you know who Pendleton Ward is, if that's a name that you
I
instantly
do.
recognize. Yeah, Nico, it's the artist and creator of Adventure
No, I
Time.
do. No, I just said I do know.
Yeah, I know, but everybody else doesn't, Nico.
Well, don't just
They're
say
not
my name.
you. I still have to explain it. But
Mom,
You're
Dad,
directing it towards me.
the prototype for Little Pink Best Buds,
young guys.
the way
God,
that it
fire.
stands now, you literally wake up in the trunk of a car with some dude. You're just like, okay, well, I'm tied down in a car, and the trunk pops open, and the dude just pulls you out and unties you, and you're in the middle of a field, and then his car just drives away and disappears. And the field is completely empty, except it's filled for little pink dudes who all have like one thing different, and they all want to be your best friend. So like there's one dude with a big foot, or like one dude who just sort of floats around, or like one dude who has a boombox and just listens to music all the time. And I can without a doubt say it's one of the most terrifying games I've ever played. Like little Pink Best Buds is so fucking scary. I can't even describe it. Because like the whole concept of the game is you can just walk around and you can like poke them, right? Just like jab them a little bit. But it's got the whole, oh god, what was that game called? I want to say
Trying to be
Penumbra.
Facebook friends.
The you can type at him. You know what I mean? So he'll be like, hey man, I want to be your best friend, and you can be like, oh, I don't know, you smell bad, and they'll be like, oh man, really? You think I smell bad, man? That's mean. Like, and the reason the game gets so
It's like
scary, is,
future
CNET with
gaming.
pink people.
dude, once
Little
you
pink bros.
once you make one of them your best friend, it gets sketch. They get violent and murdery and burn everything to the ground and. Dude, that game is terrifying. I just love
Sounds like
everything.
a girlfriend simulator. You sure they're not just trying to send secret messages, be artsy about it?
Right?
Little pink people, few little pink things, you know. Okay, that's me for the night.
I love everything that Double Fine's doing right now. I'm so excited.
Good for you.
Uh-oh. Got some bad blood.
Well, fine, Nico.
no.
Jeez.
No, I agree. That was my thing.
Double Fine's out. Well, we can all agree that Costume Quest 2 is something we're all looking forward to.
Yeah, it's gonna be good. Honestly, I even liked Costume Quest 1, even with how shallow it was. Like, it was an enjoyable
it's
game.
pretty simple, but it's just fun. And I usually get tired of like Final Fantasy 7, like summons, and like any of the Final Fantasy games. Like, okay, they cut it out like half the time they wouldn't show it, but like Final Fantasy 7, I was like, okay, I don't want to see Knights of the Round for the 30th time in this Sephiroth fight, even though it's badass. But you know, like those little weird animations and stuff in Costume Quest, they were just so charming that I didn't.
Yeah,
really
no,
mind those.
the whole
It's
game
repetitive as hell, but yeah.
It had a super pleasing aesthetic feel. Costume Quest 2 is gonna be
That's what I'm
awesome.
saying. Like it's simple looking. It's not super graphically demanding or anything. It's just simple polygons.
I think
cell
part of the
shade.
reason that
This looks
game is
good.
so good is you get exactly what you expect out of it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, you don't expect any more, and you don't get it, but you don't need it. Like, you get the exact experience you're looking to get out of it, and that's why I really enjoy Costume Quest.
Yeah. You know, since we're kind of talking about like downloadable games and we were talking about Xbox, you guys familiar with like Twisted Pixel?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Sure.
I'm a huge Twisted Pixel fan, and
Oh yeah.
they got bought up
yeah.
by Microsoft, and they made that Connect shooting game, which I tried to play and I could get into it, but they made really good games like The Mall.
Loco
They
Cycle.
made Local Cycle is a thing
Comic
they're
Jumper.
working on now. Comic Jumper was so funny, even though it's shallow gameplay, and it's
No,
simple graphics, but it
Local
looks
Cycle's
so
out.
good. Is that out?
In fact,
Okay.
yeah. In fact, they put it out on 360 too. It's not just an Xbox One exclusive.
Yeah, but the thing I'm saying is like if they had a really cool, because those guys they're talented, they have a passion for what they're doing. If they would not make them into like the Connect company, like they did with Rareware, Jesus Christ. Like
God, rest in peace,
if they had, yeah, right. If they had like really cool original, games coming out for these people that were exclusive, but like kind of like downloadable indie title type games, I think that would be a good carder in their sleeves, you know. But yeah, rest in peace, Rare for real. They didn't even get Rare to work on Killer Instinct, right? And that game's supposed to kick ass. So why would you need Rare? It's not even the same.
that
folks,
felt
really,
that
at
felt
this
like
point.
such a disappointment.
I
Oh,
thought
I was
that game
excited.
looked pretty cool. I wanted to play. I want to play the new Resident or Killer Instinct for.
Yeah, it looks awesome, and
Xbox
people
One.
said it was pretty good. So
Yeah, there's. I mean, I'm really looking forward to these next few days because I think every company's going to come out swinging extremely hard, and they're actually going to give us. I'm hoping
Yeah.
they all give us reasons to actually want to own these new consoles.
well, you and me both, man. Because I've got zero excitement for any of them, and even though I bought a Wii U and it just collects dust most of the time, I mean,
Also,
I'm excited about what Nintendo has to offer, but I'm prepared to be disappointed that it's just.
Also, way,
Smash.
way off there, but I'd be happy if there might be an announcement for, I don't know, Lego Ghostbusters, the video game. That's just me, though.
What?
Well, it is the 30th anniversary, and Traveler's Tales pops those games out every year, so.
What about like a hyper-realistic remake of the NES version where you're just that little Ghostbusters logo going through the city,
Oh God.
but with like really awesome graphics?
Yeah, and the
Nico
text,
can do the stereo soundtrack for it.
the text has to say the same at the Zool building.
Yeah, right.
I'd rather LGN make a comeback than that. Biggest announcement of E3. LGN
That's
is
the big
returning
upset.
games.
LGN releases their own system.
LGN,
Only
we're
plays
back,
LGN
guys.
games.
That's probably why a certain Defender isn't with us tonight, is because he's
Yeah.
preparing to make that speech.
Yeah,
Yeah.
he's gonna go on stage. He's gonna.
Yeah. He's the new mascot. He's just gonna.
They replaced the rainbow with just his face. It's just-
Oh dear. I do my Matt Ezra impression, but it's not appropriate. He's not around. Anyways, but yeah, I mean E3. Just I know you guys are gonna talk about it again, so.
Yeah. Well,
Yeah,
We'll
be back on.
after E3 happens, so we can talk about what all was announced and shown and all that.
probably
jazz.
have a much better voice of opinion because we see like, oh yeah, that was good or that sucked.
Well, that's what happened when we did MultiTapped. We did our little before E3 podcast. It was like an hour long, something like that. And then after E3, it ended up the first time we talked for like what 4.5 hours, something like that.
Oh, no, you mean with the Zoc Gaming podcast?
Yeah.
MultiTapped. You said
Yeah,
MultiTapped.
whatever. Podcast,
EM.
zippity zap, beep bop boop. But yeah, like it. I imagine once E3 happens, we'll have tons to talk about. I think honestly, everybody's just kind of burnt out, especially after the shit show that was last year's E3. That was just Microsoft and Sony just flipping each other off on stage. And
Or
that,
basically like Microsoft shooting itself in the foot over
that
and over again.
hashtag girlwood bullshit.
Oh,
Two.
Tyler, just
That was
post
Ubisoft,
these line
wasn't it?
and just we're fine.
What was the hashtag thing? What are you talking about?
Girlwood.
Hashtag Girlwood. It was like this thing Ubisoft had last year.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Ubisoft had Aisha Tyler do
Yeah.
her presentation for her, and like she's a funny comedian, she's really great on
Mhm.
Archer and all that, but the entire time she was
Nice
just
looking
making
lady,
like
too.
the "I'm a girl gamer," ha ha ha.
I guess that explains.
Hashtag Girlwood, and it was like on her shirt and shit.
I,
It just felt
I guess that explains why she's in Watch Dogs, because I found that out. Like she's actually in Watch Dogs. Like
We actually we have a question from the chat.
What?
Ooh.
Yep. Do you think Wii U could end up worse off than the GameCube in terms of sales figures versus competition?
I think it's already beaten the GameCube if I'm correct. Like the Wii U sales aren't hurting.
It's like 6 million or something like
Wait,
that. I
like
think is
GameCube's like 21 million, right? No.
Yeah, GameCube's like I think there's only about 4 million Mario systems in homes. Wii U's.
Oh, okay.
Are they
So it's like
six-
6 million, and they're like,
there's
oh,
six-
4 million.
Yeah,
sold.
6 million Wii U sold as of March, or yeah.
I honestly I would say I kind of see the Wii U as this decade's Virtual Boy.
Yeah,
No.
and it's really a shame too. Like, because
I don't-
the more I own my Wii U, the more I love it. Like in a really serious way. Like, I don't know, man.
There are good games that are coming.
Yeah,
It's like the 3DS.
I agree. Like, I think this is actually this generation's PS3. PS3 had a long time before it became dominant, actually. So I mean, the Wii U's just kind of heating up, don't y'all think? I mean, the games are finally starting to come. Like, I'm kind of interested in the Wii U now. I'm not interested at all in the Xbox, like at all. Like PS4 and Wii U are the two I'm interested in.
I guess that's fair. Yeah, I'm literally not excited for any console games that aren't on the Wii U in the next year and a half, except for potentially Last Guardian, which is never going to happen, and Sunset Overdrive, which will eventually come to Steam. So.
Yeah, look at Dead Rising 3. You know, everyone thought, oh, just Xbox One, but now it's coming to.
Oh, I think everybody kind of knew it wasn't just going to be exclusive. I'm actually surprised it didn't get ported over to PS4 already. So, I don't know. Like for the like I was saying earlier, like 3DS was a disastrous launch, and everybody was like, "This is the end of handheld gaming. Nintendo's over." But look what happened with 3DS. Maybe.
One more thing that
bring back handheld gaming.
One more thing I actually remembered that I am excited, or I'm excited / afraid for is how EA handles Star Wars Battlefront.
Okay.
That's true. A lot of people are interested in that.
Because that was like one of my favorite multiplayer.
Yeah, those games are great. I have fantastic memories playing Battlefront.
Pandemic. Too. No.
As long as we're talking about EA, I'm interested in the new Mirror's Edge game coming out, of course.
Oh yeah.
So that was a property that I thought just has been neglected completely since it came out. I thought the first was revolutionary. We're seeing it in other stuff now, finally. So I want to see how that game. It's supposed to be open world this time, which I'm not sure how that's going to work, but hopefully better. We'll see.
Maybe you can make your own character, Josh, and you could be running through the buildings just the way you are. That'll be pretty awesome.
No, I think you are going to be a strong female lead.
I know you are going to, and it's gonna be weird. But bring this back to like Wii U and the GameCube.
Yeah, do we know how many units the GameCube sold?
21 million worldwide.
Yeah.
Which was that over how long?
Drastically worse
5
than other
years.
systems in the 6th generation. I think PS2 sold like what 200 plus million.
No, it's like 150 or something.
It's still that was like one of the best-selling systems of all time. And then I think the original Xbox was kind of down there.
Yes, 155 million.
Yeah.
Okay.
Because that's why he's got the Rain Man jacket on. My mom lets me go driving out the driveway on Sundays or whatever. Nico is the numbers man. He's like he's ready. He's ready to fight off any of these modern games. Like yeah, only 150 million. Okay, PS2.
Well, fuck off.
Right. But I don't think the Wii U will become like a GameCube, even though like seems like the GameCube was relatively successful in retrospect. But you know,
it was better than the Dreamcast at least.
Oh no, Dreamcast,
which is a fucking travesty.
Yeah.
Like, oh man, the amount of money I would throw at somebody for a Dreamcast gamepad.
Well, yeah. Look at the Dreamcast. I think the Dreamcast had a really strong start. It had the best console launch that I could think of with
best version
the
of
most games.
99, yeah. The marketing was brilliant as well. That's what I'm getting at there.
Yeah.
So it was a very strong launch for Dreamcast.
Yeah, but you know how like they're releasing like the GameCube controller adapter for the Wii U. I think they're trying to tap into that kind of, which is good. They should tap in more. I don't think a GameCube controller for Smash Brothers is gonna help them out too much. But if they head in the direction where they try to service the people who know and love Nintendo and people, despite all the weird fanboy kind of fights people have, like Nintendo sucks, you just in denial, you're going down. It's all about Sony and Microsoft. I think people, if they saw like their kind of favorite games being re-released or given any sort of like attention, they would buy a Wii U, especially if it's going to be cheaper. I don't know.
Love to see a new Metroid.
Yeah.
Especially if a new Metroid that's like a Metroidvania Metroid. That's what, even more so than Symphony of the Night 2. I'd love to see another actual Metroidvania Metroid game.
Yeah. If they did like Super Metroid, like if they just did remakes, I think people would buy
Super
the
Metroid
Wii U.
HD would be awesome.
Yeah.
That'd be a good game.
I'll take 5.
There's been talk about a lot of like the GameCube games being re-released because of Wind Waker HD, like Super Mario Sunshine. If they did like a Super Mario history pack and just made it HD, not even like any sort of real upgrades, maybe a GameCube Sunshine, they give it like kind of nice bloom effects and all that crap, kind of like what they did with the Wind Waker.
If they did,
people would buy that too. Like
3D
Mario
Mansion.
So from the chat, the guy was actually asking more about
If
The
it's
amount
gonna.
of Wii U sold versus the amount of PS2s and Xbox One sold this generation.
If the Wii U's gonna sell as much as that,
If the disparity between like the Xbox One and PS4 and the Wii U is going to be similar to the PS2 and the GameCube, etc.
it's debatable. Here's the big difference.
Oh, they kinda
Part of the
ratio.
big draw of consoles in the past, and Jimmy sort of touched on this earlier too, is like it was affordable computing hardware. You know what I mean? Like no, back in the day it was near impossible to get like an actual gaming rig. So it was like, why spend thousands and thousands of dollars on a gaming rig when you can spend like 400 and pick up a console and some games?
Right.
But like at this point now, the hardware argument's completely invalid. You can build a gaming computer for dirt cheap and it's gonna rock. Like I feel like it's gonna come back to more of a fight of content instead of just bloom effect. Because I mean, let's be honest here, that's pretty much what it was the last generation. It was just who was a bigger dick over processing power. It's who could make a prettier game, not who can make a better game. But since
with 6th Gen 2, DVDs were just hitting the scene too. So I think the reason that the PS2 sold so well is because a lot of people buying that just because they needed a DVD player.
To be fair, that's part of the reason the PS3 sold so well. That was part of the reason I bought my PS3 was that it was the same price as a Blu-ray player.
Blu-ray.
Right.
Yeah.
Not quite that big jump, but I think now that Blu-ray's the dominant format now, it's like not as big of a jump with the DVDs and Blu-ray as like VHS to DVD. But
I'm just saying, if we look at console launches previously, we have a lot of things like that are sort of factoring into it. But I feel like Wii U stands a better chance than the GameCube did, just because I think this generation is going to be a battle of the library, not the hardware. So I think Nintendo has a better hat in that race. Because my opinion, and you can feel free to disagree, is that Nintendo makes great games and terrible hardware. And that's just kind of the way it works.
I don't know. I mean,
have to disagree.
They make hardware that's
so low.
Yeah.
The failure rates are so low in Nintendo device, except for the GameCube. But that's why I would disagree, because I've got a PS3 and Xbox that will not work, but my Wii worked just fine.
I guess that's fair, but on the same note, I bought my Wii U like 6 months ago, something like that, and I can't play DVDs on it. Like,
yeah,
You can't watch movies.
Yeah, but nobody uses disc-based media anymore for watching things. Everything's streamed now.
yeah, that's fair. But on the same note, have you used the Netflix app on Wii U?
I heard it sucks on Wii U, but
Yeah, the Hulu and everything works fine, but Wii U Netflix, I'm pretty sure I'd rather run my hand through a meat grinder.
Fair enough.
But I mean, it's kind of like that. Like this entire time, we haven't been talking about exclusives for Microsoft and Sony. It's like all of the games people are excited for are more or less Nintendo products, and the GameCube really didn't have that. I mean, people were like, "Oh, there's gonna be a new Star Fox," and they gave them Star Fox Adventures.
I liked it.
Okay, good for you, Nico. But I'm just saying, like, imagine if you're,
Assault is much better, I will say. Much
Track
better.
line levels.
you know what I'm saying? And I think the rap that Wind Waker got when it launched is a travesty, because that's, in my opinion, the best.
Oh, wait, but... Oh, dude. New Star Fox for Wii U. Oh, that'd be so great.
Yeah, that'd be awesome. But I mean,
there's a little bit of rumor running around about that, but I kind of doubt it.
They just need to make one where it's all track shooting levels. I don't want to see like with Star Fox Assault for the GameCube. The thing that ruined that game is all the parts where you were outside of your ship, or you have to use a tank for a whole level.
No, I don't get that. I love the ground and tank sections so much. That diverse is like,
I like the tank levels like on Mario 60 or on Star Fox 64 where it's like on a track, but when you remove
Well, there was
the
only
track
2 in 64.
Yeah, but they were on tracks back then. Like I don't like it. I don't really like the Star Fox levels where it's like there's like this square and you can kind of fly around within it. I'd rather be just flying forward on a track.
all range mode.
Yeah, all range mode.
Yeah. Well, I love Assault. It's my favorite. And if there's a new Wii U Star Fox that is basically 64, you know what? Terrific.
But I mean, that's exactly what I mean. Like, Wii U is not going to compete, probably, with PS4 and Xbox One, but I don't think there's going to be as big as a discrepancy as what we saw with the GameCube and PS2. Just because the Wii U is actually bringing, like, a
I
lot
don't
of
think
really
anyone's
good
gonna
games to
buy
the
a
table.
PS4. There is people buying PS2. For a lot of reasons you guys mentioned.
Right, the ceiling's a lot lower for the other two this time around for all the issues we've already brought up. They're just not going to sell as many consoles overall this generation.
Exactly, yeah. So the numbers will be less. Because I mean, why would you spend like $500-$600 on a console when you can just get a gaming rig?
Right. Well, that's another factor too. Economy sucks. Like 15 years ago, it was a lot better. It was harder to get, what do you call it, burn games, get like bootleg games and all that stuff, pirate things. Now it's like everybody does it. So there's all those different factors why people wouldn't want to invest in a console. Like PS2 back then, like, you could pirate games, but it was a pain in the ass. And back then, everything you ever downloaded on the internet was a virus. So, I mean, I don't know. It's just it's a different time. And yeah, Wii U has the only thing that I can see that's really kind of unique out of all the systems. Like Xbox, they tried to shove that Kinect shit down our throats, but nobody was buying. And it didn't even, apparently it doesn't even work much better than the original Kinect, which for some games I think the Kinect works fine, but I don't want to play games with my grandma, and she can't even stand up anyway. So why would I get a Kinect?
Because Grandma wants to play Star Wars Kinect, man. That's what she
So you
wants
can
to
do
do.
this.
I'm Han Solo.
I'm Han Solo.
Yeah, like. Oh man.
Stupid, man. But yeah.
Well, is there any
I'm glad
other
motion
games we can
control's
talk
good.
about tonight that you guys want to mention before we wrap things up?
I'm pretty sure that covers most of it. Everything else is we more or less have to wait for E3 to happen.
Yeah, pretty much. It's
I mean, we did
I
talk
hope
about Mortal Kombat.
Yeah,
Like,
Mortal
there's gonna
Kombat
be
X.
Kombat.
Hmm.
So,
That's another
Yeah.
example of like, they're gonna release those on 360 and PS3 as well, and they're probably gonna look just fine and play perfectly fine as well.
Yeah, the
So-
new Battlefield game called Hardline's coming out as well. These are all leaked stuff, so yeah, it doesn't matter.
Yeah, we'll have to wait till the conference is actually over on Tuesday to see. There is one hope that I didn't mention that I do have. This is if they show footage of Final Fantasy 15, which I imagine is more of a Tokyo Game Show kind of thing, but if they do show
Yeah.
footage of that, I would really like to play a Final Fantasy game that isn't just completely horrible.
Then go by 14.
Go by Theater Rhythm.
Like, I'm
Call,
not even
3DS.
kidding. As much as I hate MMOs, the one thing I can say about Realm Reborn is it feels like a fucking Final Fantasy. It
yeah,
really
Jay.
does.
Yeah, it looks like it has all the elements. It's kind of like a Final Fantasy 9. You know how they brought back all those old kind of elements to PC
Yeah,
games?
yeah.
14
But I mean, like, in a
is
serious way,
fucked
like,
up.
if you want to play a good Final Fantasy, you could do a lot worse than buying them up for 14.
Yeah, Jay, we're gonna have to wait on Tokyo Game Show for anything like that because they've already announced you will be seeing no Final Fantasy 15 nor Kingdom Hearts 3 at E3.
Boo.
I don't care. So
Speaking of other things we're not going to see, nobody thinks we're going to see a Mass Effect release from Microsoft, correct? An announcement of there, because I don't know. I heard that somewhere that maybe the Mass Effect will be announced.
I don't know. I kind of felt Mass
Yeah.
Effect is done too, but
No, once you're gonna milk the
No,
shit
like,
out of
I think
these.
somebody else has got the license now, so they'll do whatever they do with it. So
yeah, they can drive now. They got the license.
you try right to the ground, faster than light.
Yeah.
Well, I think that covers everything for E3 this year.
Or at least beforehand. There'll
Yeah,
be a
these
lot
are-
more to talk about after the conference. That's for.
Oh,
that's absolutely
yeah.
for sure.
And if you want to
Or
watch
nothing.
that, anyone who's viewing it right now, we'll be doing that Tuesday, probably a few hours after the Nintendo conference is over, which should be, I'd say, sometime in the late afternoon on Tuesday. You'd probably be good time. Yeah, maybe even in the night. I don't know. We have no idea when we're doing it. so-
Tuesday!
Tuesday.
Yeah, there you go. There's an answer.
Cool. Well, yeah. Thanks for tuning in, everyone, and
oh yes.
I guess say goodbye, everybody.
Goodbye, everybody.
Oh god.
Thank you.
Bye.
Farewell.
Adios.